and activities for all ages, tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
Very good evening to all of you, my friends and well-wishers, and those of you who are looking for us. We are here and we are live, and it's a beautiful Thursday evening, just nice and cool. Should I say this or not? I wouldn't say it because it might conflict with other things to come. It's good to be here once again, and we've been missing live for a couple of times, but whichever program you would have seen during that period is still a program that you needed to see anyway, you know, because there's always something that you can learn, and there's always something that you missed that if you look again, you will learn. So, as I said, it's Thursday. Welcome to our program. And today we're going to chat about a few things. And then I know you're going to have lots of questions about all sorts of things. And I may have a few questions myself. And I hope that you will have the answers. Because everybody asks me and I have to answer. So I hope when I ask it, you will have the answer too. There's so much that I can tell you, so much. But we're going to begin by saying it's good to be here again. And it's good that you are there to see me, because some who would have been looking at me the last time may not be able to see me anymore because they're gone. Hopefully not, but that happens too. We have some happenings, you know, things that are happening in our country, in many other countries, and we've just had, you know, an announcement that was made recently regarding our president. We just have to keep praying for him, because prayer helps, prayer works, and prayer is power, you know. But you have to also apply with prayers. You have to, you know, there's application. You know, I mean, prayer is good, yes, but you know, you've got to use wisdom and the things that need to happen and things that need to be put in place in many instances, so that the prayer can, you know, can also do its work, you know, in your life, you know. All this year, and it's almost the end of the year, I've been focusing on cancer and its destructive abilities. And I never told you, I can't remember telling you why I focused on cancer all year, but you know, you got to be careful when you say things, because people put things in the wrong perspective. But I'll say it. Ever since the year started, and I said it before, I said it to a few people, and I was reminded on Sunday last by one of the persons. I said it before that in the beginning of the year, when the year just started, I had this that strange feeling that someone in a high place would be stricken with this dreaded disease called cancer. And I shared it with a few people. I didn't know who it would be, but I told them that I have this feeling that someone in high office in our country is going to be stricken. I didn't really know who it would be, but I just knew that it would be someone, and I kept getting that feeling all the time. If you notice that all of my programs I focused on cancer, that's because I wanted to give my opinion and to give my advice on, some of the crucial the crucial things that we need to do to not become one of those victims or become that victim. I still am going to continue on cancer because, I don't think the message is clear. I don't think it's clear. So I'm going to continue with it until I'm inspired not to do it any longer, right? But the very important factor that we need to consider, and I talked about all year long, I talked about the chemicals that are being used and are being allowed in this country to be utilized by persons who may be, some may be genuine and some may be greedy, It's being used in our produce, and I'm seeing it every single day in my screenings, where persons are loaded with chemicals that even they themselves don't know how they got it, Chemicals are dangerous. Mycotoxins are dangerous. Bacteria can be dangerous. Viruses can be dangerous. And we are exposed to so much here because we do things without thinking sometimes. We inject ourselves with chemicals that we don't even know what they are. We don't investigate for the most part. We spray chemicals in our homes. We spray it in our fields. We spray it in places where we dwell without knowing the danger that we are exposing ourselves to, because we breathe those chemicals in. And once you breathe them in and you feel that you would have inhaled it, it is registered, it is there, it has to be somehow processed. And most of the time it is not processed out unless you use a mechanism that can take it out. But you don't know it's in there. We have persons who are burning mosquito coil every night, and they don't know the danger of the chemicals that are coming into their lungs, their bronchioles. We have people who are spraying things like DEET and all sorts of things, fish spray and yeah, but if you spray these things, if you use them, you need to get out of the area where you spray them for a little while and allow it to get out, allow the chemicals to dissipate and go where they have to go. But then, you pollute in the air, you pollute in the environment, and, it's crazy. I keep saying that we need to, instead of us, protecting ourselves by doing that, let us protect ourselves by doing what makes sense. If the mosquitoes are coming into your house, protect your house from the mosquitoes coming in. Put screens about the place. Put mesh. Take some of that money you're spending on buying your clothes and shoes and all the garbage, and protect your life and your children's life. Screen the windows. If there are vents that are around the rooftop, find some way of putting mesh up there so that you can avoid the unwanted pests from coming into your homes. Because when you spray those things and you breathe them in, you're killing yourself. You're exposing yourself to all sorts of diseases, including cancer. Because some of those chemicals are known to cause cancer. And you can do your research. I don't know if you ever take the time to look at the ingredients on those chemical, the cans that you spray so regularly into your homes. Have you looked to see the danger on the chemicals that you're using to put on the plants that you're feeding people with in the marketplace? Have you looked to see the danger in the chemicals that you're using to spray on the fruits to get them to ripe faster? I don't know if we are concerned about the humankind because we do all the wrong things and we end up looking to get right results. It doesn't happen. We're seeing more and more people who are coming down with all sorts of ailments and they don't know why they got it. I'm seeing that all week this week. All week. I'm also seeing more people with lupus. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm seeing more and more of the conditions that, or the diseases that we've never had before. And I'm wondering, you know, what's going on? Why? Well, we don't have to look too far, because we dig our graves with our teeth and we eat ourselves into our graves. That's what we do. You know? And then we have all these people out there who are experts all of a sudden on everything, you know? And they know all the advices and they know all the right things and yet still we don't have the answers, and we're not getting the people to get better. You know? I know some of you don't really care to listen to me, but eventually you'll pay the price. You don't listen now, you're going to listen later. I'm telling you. Because I tell you straight as it is, and I'm not living in the past. You know, I'm living in the future. You know, I keep getting ahead. I keep trying to ensure that I'm abreast with what's happening with technology and what's happening with medicine and what's happening with the chemicals and everything else. I do that because I love what I do. And I love humankind, and I really want to make a difference in transforming the lives of people from a bad state to a good state. That's me. That's what I love to do that. You know, I don't see you as a number. I see you as a person who needing help. And I do my best, but you just have to be patient. Some of you are not patient. You're impatient. You expect this thing to happen overnight. You know, you expect the results to come now. You know what I'm saying? It don't happen like that. You're sick for a long time. It's going to take a little while to overcome, because you've got to first find out why you're sick. You know? I am so concerned about the fact that people are treated for things, and many times it's not that. It's not what they've been treated for. We have got to get to the point where our physicians take more time to correctly diagnose people as much as they can before administering something to them. If you're going to use the drug, then give them a safer drug that doesn't hurt them anymore. You know? We have to get to that point in this country where we don't see people as numbers, and we don't see the drugs as the answer. The answer is in you. You have to help. Your body has to heal itself. I'm telling you. I don't care what anybody tell me. There's no drug that can heal you. No drug out there. Your body is the mechanism that has to heal itself. But what the body needs is the components and the changes that it requires to bring it back to the point where it can actually begin to heal itself. Which takes me to the next thing. The next point that you need to consider is your immune system. Without your immune system functioning, you're no good. I don't care who you are. I don't care who tell you what. If your immune system is not functioning properly, it's not up to par, it's not good, then I don't care what you take. You ain't going to make it. You're not going to succeed. You're going to keep being sick until you die. Your immune system is the mechanism that is responsible for helping you to overcome. Your cells that are damaged can only be repaired when you impose upon it the correct mechanisms or methodology to help it to regenerate new cells. You're not going to regenerate new cells when you toxify your body anymore. The more toxic matter you put into your body, the more stress loads you're putting into your body, the more you're weakening your immune system, the more your chances are for not coming out of it. The faster you're going to die. Straight up. You've got to build a wall, my friends. You've got to build a wall. You know, we built a wall on a holiday. We built a wall so that we can have a little more privacy. You know, some of you will see that when you get there. Okay? But you've got to build a wall because the wall is your immune system. That wall will keep unwanted matter out. It will keep the demons from penetrating. I call them demons because that's what they are. Sickness is not of God. Sickness is of the devil. He didn't make us to be sick. We get ourselves sick. We expose ourselves to all sorts of chemicals and foods that are toxic. We eat all the things that are bad for us. We do all the wrong things that causes us to be sick. And then you look into God to get you better when you're doing the wrong things yourself. It doesn't happen like that. He allows us to make choices. He gave us that ability. You chose to go down that path. So when you get down there, when you're in your dying bed, don't blame the doctor. It's you who did it. Yes, sometimes the doctor's at fault. I'll say it because they may administer things that are not really right for you. I'm seeing more and more of people, more and more persons loaded with parasites, loaded with worms. Worms, and not just 1, 2, or 3, or 4 different kinds, 7 and 8 different types of worms in the body system, operating at the same time. All eating, messing, or multiplying. What do you think you're going to have happening in there? All sorts of bacteria are going to happen in there because each of the worms put out a different type. When they mess, they don't mess the same mess. And they're eating inside of you, messing inside of you, and they're multiplying inside of you at the same time, all of them. And some of you believe that you don't have worms. Well, think again, believe again. I don't care how young you are, how old you are, you're eating the wrong things, you're going to get worms. You're eating the dead, you're going to have worms. I don't care what anybody tell you. Worms love the dead. If you're eating dead stuff, you're going to have worms. And as a matter of fact, you don't even have to eat dead things to get worms. We're getting worms from the vegetables that we eat. Yes. We're getting worms from them too. So even the vegetarians are at risk for the worms and the parasites that are out there. Even the vegetarians are at risk. So my friends, you've got to deworm. You've got to do it. You've got to detox. You've got to do it if you want to be healthy. You've got to keep removing the unwanted waste matter from your system, or it's going to stay there and become problems for you. Many of you have tumors. You have benign tumors. Benign means non-cancerous. You think those tumors are because of the goodness that you've been consuming? No. They're there because of the bad things that you've been consuming. The body can't process it out. It doesn't eliminate it, so it stores it. And when it stores it, it'll probably be in the kidney, or the lung, or the liver, or the gallbladder, or the pancreas, or the lymphatic system. You know? We are doing it ourselves, my friends. For the most part, we are. And then we have the environment. You know? We have that to deal with. And then the chemicals to deal with. That, you know, we don't put the chemicals in the plants, but they come when we spend our monies for the produce that we buy. They come with those because the farmers are doing it, and the authorities are not really doing anything to take care of it. You know, sad to say that we have people who are not really focusing on the things that matter. They focus on everything that doesn't matter. The medicines that are natural, that they should allow to be tax-free and duty-free, they tax it and duty it. You know? You take it to the doctor out there who doesn't know nothing about it, he just casts it out and says that's no good because he knows nothing about it. I don't care, I talk straight. I'm a straight shooter. Many of you physicians don't know nothing about natural medicine, but you talk about it as if it is the wrongest thing that's ever happened, when you never were even exposed to it. You know nothing of it. So if you know nothing of it, just say it. Look, I really don't understand, or I don't know anything about that. I cannot give my opinion on it. You try to make the doctor who's trying to help people to get better to look bad, when you're the one that's making people sick and having them die like fleas and nobody doing anything about it. You know, it angers me when I see that. It happened today. You know, you give the person who comes to your report that is indicating what is wrong with them. You take it to the conventional doctor. I understand what you do conventional because I study that. You take it to them and they throw it back at you like if it's a piece of garbage when they know nothing about it. Nonsense, ignorance. What ignorance is that you're displaying? You don't know people, you know, the same people that you throw it back at are making their judgment, are casting judgment on you, the physician. They want to know what is wrong with you. Medicine has gone far beyond where you are now. The technological age has been here. You know, it's here. It's been long here. And you living in the Stone Age, operating in the Stone Age. You don't know where medicine has gone. Medicine has gone beyond what you're doing for the most part. Get serious and get with it. Go to Germany and go to Russia. Go to Greece. Go to countries that are way ahead of you with medicine and see what is happening. And then you'll understand where you are. The physicians out there are diving into natural causes and natural medicines and solutions that you are casting out because you have not been keeping abreast with what's happening with medicine. And you're killing people every day and nobody doing anything about it. You know? My friends, let your foods be your medicines and your medicines be your food. If you learn nothing else, put that in the back of your head. The things that you eat should be like medicines to you. Your foods should be like medicines and your medicines should be like your foods. When you eat them, they should do something good for you. When you drink it, it should be doing something beneficial to your body. You know? I'm not defending anything here. I'm a realistic person. Many of you doctors out there are operating in the past. You don't know what's going on in medicine. It's a fact. I know it. I see it every day. Go back and learn or take some online courses. Position yourself with people or with places that are currently doing what is necessary today that's happening in medicine. And help people to recover and teach them the right things. Get into nutrition. Learn what it takes to eat right and teach them the right things with their diets. Instead of castigating and operating as if you're the God. Many of you behave as gods and you know not a damn thing. Seriously. You see people as numbers, not as humans looking for help. They come to you because they're sick. They come to you looking for advice and for help. And you give them something that poisons them more. Come on, guys. I know you're not robots. You're humans. Operate like humans. You know? Anyhow, Dr. Yates. Dr. Yates is here. Dr. Yates is here. And I can't have you come without sitting. You know, you're here, so, come in, sit in.
Greetings, my brother.
Greetings,
you're
greetings.
on point. You're on point.
Greetings. You're here, so make yourself comfortable,
Greetings.
and let us try to
Greetings.
help. We have Dr.
Wow,
Yates.
wow.
We have math to do. We have a formula to put together because cancer is at home now.
Oh, wow.
It's at the head of state.
Yeah.
I mean, it's public information. I mean, I knew that a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't have the privilege to say it. But it is home here.
Yes, it is.
And I don't know if the approach is the right one. I don't think so. But, what is to be done will be done.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
And we are not the authors of deciding what is to be done.
Oh, well said.
So I just hope that the right approach is applied in this instance, and the healing will occur. We can only pray for that healing. So we have some decoding to do.
Yes, we do a lot. Actually, a lot. We start with some first, all right?
and we don't have much time
No,
yet. We're
that's
going
all
to take
right,
some
that's
calls
all right.
today.
Yes.
At the 20th minute, we're going to take some calls. So we have 40 minutes and a few seconds to go into dialogue.
Okay.
So what is your view on some of what you've been exposed to with the stuff that we've talked about and what you've what you see in the media and your views on cancer,
Yeah.
because that's my topic all year.
Right.
And I'm gonna continue it until I'm inspired to change it.
Good for you.
You know, so
Okay. First of all, let me say to you, Al Shalamti. I say Al Shalamti. Namaste Ra, Namaste Ram. Tenestilin. I walked in the studio and you are on fire
yeah, I'm
with a message of healing. A message, most of all, of reaching out those people who are certified as doctors.
yeah.
What I sat there, being your live audience, I was not only flabbergasted, however, I was more overjoyed that you reach out to people who are appointed to be instruments of healing to the sick, or if not healing, information so that the patient can heal themselves.
Right.
You
right.
see? And you're the first person I've ever heard, not only in Guyana, I've been fortunately, I like to use the word be moored. People use the word bless. I like to use the word be moored, and highly favored by the Creator, my ancestors, to have lived in they call 22 countries, and I've never heard any doctor spoke like you. Speaking to your fellow doctors. And I, like I said, beyond being flabbergasted, I am so thankful for brothers like you who can talk to the people who are appointed in this country to be the instrument to be used, first of all, by the Creator. And you mentioned about cancer. Let me say this. Disfortunately is the word. Not unfortunately for me, it's disfortunately. Cancer is beyond the rise. It is beyond the rise. And we have to ask the fundamental question, why? What? Where? When? And by whom? And when those questions are asked, we have to be honest with ourselves and ask a simple question. Who am I? Not what I am. Who I am, or who am I? To ask the question, who am I, you're really saying, I am the Creator, representation in the human form. That's why it was made in the image and likeness of the Creator. Does your God have cancer? Come on, come on.
Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah? Is your Savior, is your Christ, is your whoever the Creator sent, your prophet, has cancer? Name me one of the prophets, okay, that has been diagnosed with cancer.
Didn't exist.
Doesn't exist. So I want to say this. What heals cancer is your healthy immune system. Your healthy immune system is what will heal the cancer. Eating the right foods, as we call it right foods, will empower your immune system to regulate your body, to put you in a state where you will be mizan, is the Ethiopian African word for balance. The reason why, we all have cancer cells in us. The Creator created us with cancer cells. Folks, for those who may not be aware of this, we all were created with cancer cells. The problem is, when we eat junk, when we eat things that the body should not be intaking, they call consuming, all right? It affects the immune system. And once it affects your immune system can't regulate the body in its rightful place. So for those cancer cells now come together and they say, look, we're going to be in charge. In charge to do what? To destroy you. So when we now, we can realign ourselves with alkaline foods. Alkaline food in the immune system. So this is what I have to say about cancer. You are your healer. You are your, I like to use this word, you are your preventer of cancer. It's not a pill, it's not a drug, it's not from ancient teaching of the word doctor, ancestral. It was never medication. It always about building up your immune system. Thank you.
Well, you're on point because before you walked in, I had just demonstrated exactly what you said.
And I wasn't here.
And you weren't here.
Great
You
men
know,
think alike.
The immune system is like the wall. And I talked about the wall I built over the holiday. That's the wall that protects you,
What's it?
that fights for you,
Defend.
that keeps you from falling. And if your wall is punctured or
Come on.
broken or penetrated,
Remember the Berlin Wall?
there is no more defense.
What's that?
And the more you keep hitting it with targets that are of destruction, the weaker the wall becomes, and eventually you're going to be taken.
And I'm so glad you said that, because let me say thanks to the students. You got a lot of children, young people watching this program.
Oh,
And I'm happy about that.
yeah, I think that I think it's because also that now that I reached down
Yes, wonderful.
to meet them
Yeah, wonderful.
and pick them
That's
up.
so true. I like that.
You
Now
know,
we are we.
I
Wow,
like
beautiful.
to reach down,
Yes.
brother, and help people to
Yeah,
come up.
Yeah.
My greatest distress is to see someone down there and I'm not able to get them up.
Well said. Well said. I was at Juice Power Mike in East Street, and the students from school come in there for their lunch, and a bunch of them running there for the juice bag, and when they saw me, they say, Dr. Yates, we watched with Dr. Haynes on TV the night before, and guess what we learned? I said, what y'all learn? Canned food can cause cancer.
Children,
Children, out of the mountain, babes and suckling, wisdom shall flow.
children.
Paying attention, and these are students, we're talking comprehension within 5th grade and 6th graders. Those are the ones I got a chance to meet. The ones that say,
Generation
"Oh,
next."
You know how happy I feel?
Yeah.
To know these little ones are saying, I'm not eating junk food anymore. I'm not eating out of the can anymore. Straight, the board comes from the tree, not from a can.
But we have to stop them from putting chemicals on those things.
That's true. Oh, I got a good recipe for that. Let me get a nice remedy for that. I'm glad you mentioned that. One of my, remember I told you before that the ancestral doctors, they never experimented on people.
Yeah.
They experimented on themselves. So they have the experience. That's what
It's
ancestral...
funny that I do that too.
Yes, especially your friends that you went through. No, but that's a real doctor. That's what doctor really is. Anything outside of that is known as quack. That's why the Europeans invented the word quacks.
No, they think we're quacks.
But that's okay. They have to think that. But the reality is that a real doctor tests things on himself or herself first to know the effects, not side effects, the effects, and also the benefits and what it does.
You know, many of those so-called doctors or they don't use the drugs.
They can't use it
Many
because
of
they
them-
don't test on other people. Another family member is always some stranger, some volunteer.
Many of them don't use it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's nice to learn, though, that what we put in is what will show out.
Of
For
course.
example, this morning I drank with some Corilla bitters, right?
What's the formula though? The formula you said
Yes.
for the farmers, right?
For the farmers? Okay, yes. When you pick, if they use these chemicals on the vegetables and stuff like that, okay, and they spray it, etc., and you buy it and not being aware of it, okay, one way to detox the chemicals from it is to wash, listen carefully, to wash those vegetables in almond baking soda.
Yeah, it's known. It's known.
Yes. Almond baking soda. Very powerful.
Arm & Hammer.
Almond Hammer. The man with the hammer. Right. Almond Hammer. Right. You wash it not in soap, not in this. You wash it in that. Because that detox the chemicals. That fights the chemical. I wash my rice in that. I wash my bara, they call bora, in that. I wash every vegetable in that. And some vegetables best to peel it and let the skin go.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
But if you want to eat the skin, soak it in, what do you call it, almond what?
Arm & Hammer.
Almond hammer.
Baking soda.
Baking soda. Powerful, folks.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my remedy.
Okay. There's also charcoal.
Oh, well said. Yes.
Charcoal. The charcoal will absorb the chemicals.
Yes. That's why we put charcoal in the refrigerator. A lot of
Right,
people don't know that, yes. If you're going away, okay, on holiday and you don't want electricity to be on in the fridge, you take a bag, we're talking the ground charcoal, put it in the fridge. Leave it, you'll see what the charcoal will do.
Yeah.
Protect everything, it pulls the bacteria and stuff like that. Another thing too is good to wash your vegetables in. It is called the Himalaya salt.
Himalayan salt.
Yes.
Pink
Himalayan salt. Yes, exactly.
Pink Himalayan
salt. Powerful. Including the black salt that comes out of Ethiopia. I have that.
I don't have any black salt.
Man, I got to get you some black salt.
Somebody asked me about black salt today.
Yes, but listen, that's why I have access
And
to
I
the
couldn't-
Himalaya salt and the black salt.
I couldn't tell her anything about black salt.
Because here, no, the nice thing about black salt is this. Black salt has the natural sodium from the earth. Plus it has volcanic.
Where does it come from?
It comes from mostly salt mines that is close to volcanic
Oh,
eruption.
okay.
You see? So what it is that you're getting the sulfur, and the salt combined together, which is very good for the body, especially bathing and even in swimming. Not consuming, but what? In swimming.
Ingesting.
Ingesting. And not congesting.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom.
You sure it's wisdom or wisdom? Can't be wise and dumb at the same
Wisdom.
time. Wisdom, this your dome, right? You gotta be wise and the
Lot
dome.
of information.
Lot of information, that's best said. But this is what time it is. Ancestral doctors first testing on themselves and their family members. Conventional doctors test you.
They test
and
on
test
you.
on people. That's what they call practitioners. They're practicing on you.
And conventional.
And conventional. But ancestral has always been. Look at the Chinese. Oh my God.
But it's funny that they did that. I wonder who came up with that. They called the naturopaths traditional.
Yes.
And they call the allopaths conventional.
Right, it's rightful terms. It is.
I wonder who came up with that.
But who did the etymology, linguistics, and tetragrammaton of the words?
I think it's Socrates.
Yes, no, it got to be before. It got to be before him. But even if he did, he's on par.
Yeah.
Yes, because when they use the word traditional, they're saying people of culture that
We have
has-
1 minute and 48
okay,
seconds.
that were not influenced by the Europeans. Because remember now, it's only within the 1300s Europeans were entitled to start within the university the study of medicine.
Yeah.
And the first university was Paris, France, ordained by the Pope. So prior to the 13th century, the 12th, 13th, 11th, prior to that, they didn't have these people learning about doctors. That's why the word doctor is a Latin word. And Latin is one of the African Kwankwa, which is language. And from the word doctor came from the Swahili word doctor, which referring to people of the continent, Akibulan, El Bilad al Sudan, Imhotep, Ethiopia, the Mali Kingdom, Africa. That's my 1 minute.
Okay. Now, the lines are going to open
All
up,
right.
and we're going to take some calls. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh, my goodness.
Good evening.
Good evening, my brother. I have your thing at my house. I have your tomatoes.
Concerning the food on the market, the vegetables, you know, you got two sentences. Who cares?
Who cares?
Die before 65, you're not a pension forget. That's one. I feel is the main object for that. Two, when you look at the kind of food we got to consume, because the people don't want to plant anything for themselves.
Sad.
So if they say that they learn, the African learn the other counterpart to cook. So with the expectation now that they will feed them until they're dead. So what they get to eat is what they got to digest. End of good. Now, I was trying to get the food and analyst department for a while. Reason? I suspect I had some trees here and they just saw it up, and I eat some of those fruits and carry a burning like gas down my stomach. Until now, you know what days I tried for 226? You're 7400. Never get a response, can't get a response, and I don't know where else to go.
Everybody's busy.
It looked like they were busy falling overboard. Right? And that's how we live in society today. Now, when you look, what is going to tell you exactly? We talk about the analysts, the drugs on the market, and the age. But nobody don't care anything. nobody don't care nothing. The things what they're trying to tell the people they must not use is the very thing to heal you. And nobody don't want to think, because they tell you smoking kill, it's on the pack, and if you smoke in the public, you're going to get charged $10,000 fine. But when you smoke on and second hand, smoke kill out the whole family, it's better because the revenue got to come. But the whole thing corrupt and contrary. You know what I mean? Anyhow, I got to pass by you definitely Monday. Car went down there, but it was too late.
Got your seeds.
Yeah. You got it?
Got your seeds.
Obviously. That's my brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Speaking of the word care, all right? Because my studies into etymology, linguistics, tetragrammaton, and universal mathematics. Care is not from somebody to you. Caring is you caring for yourself.
First.
First, my grandmother says caring has to do with how you take care of yourself hygienically.
Good evening.
Hi, Dr. Haynes. Good evening.
Good evening.
You were talking about detoxifying your body. What are some natural stuff I could use to detoxify my body?
The first one is a fast.
Eh,
That's the first one. The first test in detoxification is fasting.
Yes, word. Well said.
If you can pass the test of fasting, then you can survive.
Okay. And
Secondly, you've got to look at the things that have the ability to remove toxins out of your system.
Yes, beautiful.
okay.
We talked about charcoal, right? We spoke about Arm & Hammer baking soda.
Yes,
There's lots
that's
of
right.
things that are
Onion.
out there. Onion is
And
one.
garlic.
Right? Garlic
Yes,
is
yes,
another
exactly.
one. Water.
Yes, well said.
Purified water. And people knock the waters that are distilled water. The best water to drink is distilled water, in my opinion.
Well said.
In my
Well said.
opinion.
Well said.
Okay, I don't need anything in the water, basically.
All
But if
right.
it comes with the alkalinity inside, that helps, that's fine. But you can be overly alkaline too. You don't want to, you want to have balance. So water, you want to get lemon also. Lemon
Well
is
said.
very
Oh,
good.
Yes, very much so.
Lemon and
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
very good for
Very
helping to
good.
detoxify
Oh,
your
yes.
kidney. What you want to do is first of all, to understand, not understand, so
It's the sound, to comprehend.
to comprehend the fact that the part that you want to detoxify is known.
Yes.
If it's your kidney, your liver, your gallbladder, your body system, your lymphatic system, there are components out there now that are designed to detoxify each individual component.
Right. And the urine is a good thing to test those things.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what? There's also detoxification by urination.
John, yes, well said.
Your own
Yes,
urine.
your own urine, yes, I was
I've
going to
known-
say that,
I've known
yes.
that for years.
Yes, well said.
You know, there
Yes.
are persons who would have detoxified themselves
So,
by
using
consuming their own urine.
I mean, urine. Dr. Saidi did that.
Seriously.
Yes, seriously.
First in the morning, the
Yes.
first one in the morning.
It's even good for the eye cleaning.
You know? I mean, you can do the research out there. It's out there now.
Yeah.
It's all out there, a long time.
Okay. I have another question. You were talking about, I forgot.
You forgot.
That's all right.
You got to write your things down. Write them down, okay? You need to check to see if there is mercury in your body because
Oh,
it
that's right.
interferes with your
Yes,
memory.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Mercury interferes with your memory.
A lot of pipe water. has
Mercury contributes to Parkinson's
that.
disease,
Yeah, well said.
to Alzheimer's disease, to forgetfulness. Mercury. And mercury is laden in the seafoods that we consume.
Well said. Also the pipe water too.
Water that we drink,
Yeah.
mercury.
Yeah.
You know, let's hope that our water in the pipe doesn't have, but, you know, I know my friend is really working hard to purify
Yes, he is.
the
It's-
water
it's-
system.
Yeah, I saw him on
You
television.
know,
talk about
Doc
that,
is
yeah.
trying hard
Yes, he
to
is.
provide water
Yes, and
that is
because
that
they're
is
aware
consumed.
of it.
Yes,
Yes.
he's aware.
He's
now.
aware of it.
and
he's bold enough
He's
to
in the
say it.
perfect place.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
beautiful.
you can have we give you several pieces of information that can help you to know which method to use to detoxify. What is your body weight?
It's 140 pounds.
140. And how tall are you?
Not sure.
You're not sure. Maybe 5'2", 5'3". The average woman is about 5 feet 2 inches, 5 feet 3 inches, right?
She needs to know her height, though.
You just have a little bit of weight that you don't need.
Okay.
And then you need to look at your diet. Stop consuming foods that you have to kill to eat.
Okay.
If it has to be dead for you to eat it, it's not good for you.
I need to deal with it there.
Now remember the question I wanted to ask.
Good for you.
I did that so you can try to get it to remember it.
It's about your immunity. You said, what are some, other than the vitamin C tablets, what are some other natural stuff you can use to immunize your body?
There is something called colloidal silver.
Okay.
It's very natural and very good. There's also something called lysine and D3.
Okay.
Okay? There are also things that are called fresh fruits.
What's that?
Fresh fruits. Very good to increase your immune system.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You see, so what we need to focus on here in this country, and we have the greatest opportunity to do it, is to produce foods in a state that it can be consumed by even the baby
Well said.
without harming them.
Well, let's return back to the cow manure.
You know?
For
Listen, I was in Berbice last weekend, and I was just driving because I had to do a lecture up there. And we were buying some time, so we drove around, and I saw a luscious garden of pak choy.
wonderful.
I mean, it was so green and beautiful. I stopped. Me and my son. I got a son now. He's here.
That's
He's-
wonderful.
You know, he's my son. We took him on, and we stopped. And I said, "Is the pak choy for sale?" And the man said, "Yes, you can buy some." So I said, "Does it have chemicals in it? Did you use any chemical to plant it?" He pointed across the street. He said, "You see over there? That's my chemical." You know what his chemical was?
The big fat cow?
It was the cow dung.
Yes, of course.
The dung from the
For the
cow.
cow.
Boy, we bought that pak choy, you know,
I
man.
tell
I
you,
had that
that's
pak
it.
choy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, gosh,
beautiful
can
pak
imagine the
choy.
taste on that.
Cow dung.
Go down.
Good evening.
Sorry to return the call. Now, concerning this mercury in the body, could you get it from the radiation from the cell phone?
You can get all sorts of things from the cell phone. All sorts of things, including that.
Radiation.
Could there be another symptoms before this when you're diagnosed with cancer? Any kind of cancer?
The problem with mercury, though, is that it really affects you when you're exposed to it, when you ingest it.
Yeah, but in what way it would be affected?
In fish, in or seafoods, in water, you know, when you consume it.
Yeah, but in what way it could be affected? Memory loss, itching?
I just
and-
mentioned
said
it.
that we-
I just talked about it.
Listen.
Yeah, but itching, it could bring rash, it could bring memory loss.
Sometimes you don't even know you have it, but you can have one of the effects of mercury is memory loss, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, all those, you know.
Okay. And it isn't possible that when people consume things that your body shouldn't be consuming, it is not possible you should get a symptom like loss of teeth.
Well, if your teeth is falling out of your mouth, you definitely know that something has gone wrong in there.
Right, so that you would,
Some people don't even look at symptoms. They think it's normal for it to happen.
yeah, because what I'm saying that if you're going to get a symptom and your teeth going to drop out because you're going to feed your body with certain things, it would have been a good sign. So
Nope.
that when the teeth drop up and the gum can't take the pressure, you would exactly know what to eat.
Well, some people don't even look at that as a problem.
Anyhow, thank you for this second.
All right, thanks for calling again. Good evening. Oops, we missed it. You know, some people are told that it's normal to happen. Like the woman under discharge. Women are told by the conventional doctors that a discharge is normal to have.
Also, they've been told that they're supposed to have sex during the pregnancy.
What's-
It can open the vagina for the baby to come
yeah,
out
and,
and all
and
this
if
nonsense.
you're having menstrual pains, even the children who haven't had sex yet, when you have sex, it's going to stop. Or you take birth control pills. Those are not the solutions.
Because
They're
they've
not
been
the
advised by
solutions.
quacks.
Good evening.
Good evening, doctors.
Good evening to you.
I'm blessed and highly favored. God bless both of you.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
yet that said that you could wash the vegetables with baking soda. I would like to know what proportion. half a teaspoon and a gallon of water or what?
Well, no, it depends on how much vegetables you're washing.
If she has, maybe let's just use the water. Half a gallon of water, how much should she add to the water?
You do it by the what do they call
Tablespoon?
it? Tablespoon. Yes.
2 tablespoons
Yeah.
to gallon, maybe?
I'll tell you what. I learned this from the elderly people. They always measure things by saying a prayer first and asking their ancestors to guide them. And they always measure things by pouring the hand and using like a soap and washing it. It's not going to it's not going to harm the food, because remember now, that same thing is what you're using in your your bread, your roti, and everything, and you're eating it.
So she uses about 2 tablespoons in a half a gallon of water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? 2 tablespoons would be what you put in your hand and you do the thing in the water
And that's it.
let it
Yeah,
dissolve
just
and then you put
flush
your
that,
vegetables in
and
and
that's
wash.
it. It's okay. Simple.
Okay?
It's not hard.
Very much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
Continue the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you for the encouragement.
Some people suggest bleach, but I don't really
No, I
care
ain't
for the
going there.
bleach. I think bleach, I know bleach also interferes with your memory and it can cause you to have some issues. But there's people advised to put bleach in the water. Good evening.
Good evening, hello.
Good evening to you.
My wife suffers from pain in her right arm, starting from the up the shoulder.
How old is your wife?
What's the reason? She's 65.
Your wife, in my opinion, most likely has a deficient in minerals.
Mineral?
Most people over the age of 40 need to stay on minerals, need to supplement with minerals, because minerals are depleted as you age faster than when you're not.
Yeah.
So if you're having pain in your joints, most likely it's a depletion of the minerals and you're wearing down the cartilage in the joints. She needs minerals, in my opinion. Okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Would you, could you attend to such a case
We do it every day.
every day?
It's very common in the clinic,
Except on Sundays, right?
Okay.
except on weekends.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Every day except on weekends.
Okay.
Thanks for the correction. Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Hinz.
Good evening to you.
I was told sometime before the water main that GWI still has underground. I was told it's very contagious. Is that so? Yes, sir.
It is very possible, but I'm not sure because of the lead and so on. I am not sure. You would have to check with the water authority and my dear brother up there, the doctor, the goodly doctor, who I know is doing a fantastic
Yes,
job.
yeah.
Check with them and they will give you the answer. I don't have the answer to that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's out of my, my area. You know, and I know he will give the answer that is pertinent. He will not fabricate. Good evening. Sorry about that. You know, so it's, you know, when we look at what is happening to our citizens today, some of them are spellbound. They're mesmerized because they don't understand. When they look at the television every night, death announcement, it seems like for hours.
Oh, yes.
You know, we have more people dying in this country now than ever.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening. I just tuned in and
You missed a whole lot.
hello.
You have to turn.
Yes, I just tuned in and I heard you talk about throwing bleaching in the water.
No, we were saying that I don't really agree with that.
So what could you throw in the water?
Baking soda, we talked about it. That's not to drink though. We're talking about the
To
water
wash
that you
to clean
drink. We were talking about to wash
the vegetables
the
and stuff, all the
vegetables and
chemicals.
fruits and so with.
No, but I'm talking about the water, the drinking water.
The best thing to do with your drinking water is to filter it and purify it, not to add any chemicals to it.
So how do you purify it?
You have systems in place. You have filtration that you can add. There's charcoal with with filters that you can add to your system to take the bacteria and to at least take the most of what is in the water out of the water.
Oh, charcoal?
Yeah.
Charcoal
Oh, that's
filters.
charcoal?
Yes.
Charcoal filters.
They have the filter.
Charcoal filter.
You need to get a plumber to look at your system, and they will recommend. I don't know, you want to put something in place to At least purify your water.
Yes, I use the water tank. So it's one.
Your water tank is not safe because the water that is going into the tank may not be safe. And then you have accumulation that occurs in the bottom of the tank. And then you have mosquitoes that lay eggs in there and worms and all that occur. So
It's tightly closed.
it doesn't matter. What is the water source that you have going into the tank?
From the main.
Okay then. So you want to make sure that you, before the water gets into your glass, that you have something there to filter it or purify it. Okay? The plumber can help you.
Okay.
All right, thanks for calling. She just tuned in, so she missed a lot. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Good evening.
I will ask you, when a person's stool yellow, what causes that?
They had too much mango. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. If the person is stooling yellow consistently, then it has to be something either that's wrong with the liver or something that's in the diet that is too dye or too much dye inside. Check and see what they're using. Maybe they're using, if it's you, maybe using too much dye. And it's not, you know, you're not absorbing it, so it's going through your elimination system. Okay? Consume more water and check your foods that you and your components that you add into your foods.
The doctor first and said it's central liver test and it delivered normal.
Then maybe you need to check your food.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. As long as the eye is not yellow, then check the food. Good evening.
Could that be jaundice?
It could be jaundice, but if the eye is yellow, then we could suspect jaundice. But if the stool is yellow, then it could be something that is added to the food that is causing it to come out that way. You know, if the urine is yellow, we have another situation.
Oh, yeah.
You know. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Good evening to you.
How are you?
All right, we got a couple of minutes.
Yes, I just wanted to find out if you can use vinegar in the water to wash the food.
Vinegar.
Yes.
You can use vinegar also.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Put vinegar to wash
Yeah. Vinegar cider, yeah.
You can. You can use apple cider vinegar,
Apple cider vinegar.
or you can use the vinegar.
Very good.
Okay?
So you can use the vinegar?
Yes,
Yes.
you can, to wash, yes.
Okay, great.
It's very effective.
Yes, what I can use it.
Oh, okay, you're welcome. That's another one. Good evening.
Yep.
Hi, good evening. How are you, sir?
Very good. How you doing?
Right, are you getting me clearly?
I'm getting you very clear. You only have a minute and 22 seconds.
I want to come into the fray with this conversation about chlorination of water.
Oh, Lordy.
You did say that you can, for the want of a better word, chlorinate water with sodium bicarbonate. Did I understand you correctly?
No,
Well, no, we
the
were
music
saying
line
that
for
it's to be used to wash the vegetables
Right.
and
Yeah,
fruits.
but I have a problem with that. Now, scientifically, sodium bicarbonate or baking soda has no properties in terms of killing bacteria. I know for a fact that sodium bicarbonate gets rid of odors, right? Now, I might be wrong, and but I'm saying to you that you don't ever use sodium bicarbonate with water to wash vegetables and greens. What you normally would do is to use a couple drops of bleach, which contains sodium hypochlorite, 5%.
Yeah, but the bleach also has a problem.
Sorry?
Bleach also has a problem in water.
No. What I'm saying basically, you were talking about the residual effect of the bleach on the food, but there's a way to handle that. When you do not use a vast amount of bleach in your water, use a couple of drops, and then what you do is you immerse your vegetables in that water and allow it to sit there for a couple of minutes so that the chlorine dissipates, right? That is the only thing that I know that can kill the bacteria.
Well,
That's one of the things that you know.
No, that's good that you know something,
Yeah.
but you cannot disregard other things other people know from experience by saying that doesn't work also.
Years ago, the method that was used, that Doc talked about, was the baking soda, which is still used. You know, so we need to, look, the information is available out there.
Remedies.
And we can do the research. It's available. And not all of it is pertinent.
If I'm to assume that you're correct, then baking soda, based on what you're saying, is much more cheaper, right? In terms of, because chlorine, right?
It's costly.
Good.
We want to look at not just the cheaper, or we want to look at the less harmful.
All right, that's it.
Because the past year. The other point I wouldn't want to dwell on that.
We're out of time, you know, but
Yes,
The other point I'd like to make is this. You told a lady just now that the chlorine, right? Because she continuously was asking you, how do you chlorinate water, right? And you chlorinate water, it's all over Oxfam and all these organizations. They have chlorine tablets. Even in
no, she didn't say chlorine. No. She wasn't. She didn't use the word chlorinating the water.
To drink.
She wanted to purify the water. Purify the water, and we suggested that she uses a plumber.
But I have a problem. What do you mean by purification of water? My interpretation of the word purification means you get rid of all the living and non-living organisms in the.
But even chlorine does not do that.
In the water.
Even chlorine does not do that. So we're going to a point where, you know, maybe that's what you know. But I suggested charcoal, which is less harmful.
Of bacteria using charcoal. What you can get rid of, right? You could use the ultraviolet method.
Which is fine, but who can afford that?
Sorry?
You think she can afford it?
No, but I mean, it's not a question of affordability or not. It's a
Don't
question
go
of
there. That's where you wanted you to go.
the facts.
Yeah.
Cannot
He wanted you to go there.
charcoal.
What we need to do, my friend, is to use your method in the water system. Maybe you can suggest it there. It can be used there so the water coming through the pipes to people's homes would be good enough for them to drink. What you're saying they may have, it's valid. But the average person who is calling about getting the water system so that they can consume it without being harmed tremendously wants to have a simple solution that they can put on the water system that can give them at least safe water to drink. Safe water to drink.
But you know right now, our water is being, next different chemical is being used for the water that we're drinking right now from GWI. And there was a big cry about it. And for me, it's not, I haven't proven anything in terms of that being a better chemical than...
What is the name of the chemical?
I can't remember right now.
Of course, he can always assume.
But then you shouldn't even mention it.
Right, he always made that assumption.
If you don't know, then why are you mentioning it?
I'm saying to you that right now the chlorination of water, right? The chlorination of water, right? They're not using chlorine alone. There's a next chemical that was introduced.
Okay, well we know that chlorine causes problems with the brain also.
No, you're missing a point.
No. That's scientifically proven. It's not a point that I'm making.
Come on, Doctor.
He just want to listen. He make his point well.
All right, look.
He made his point.
We're out of time, right? And we can debate that at some point later. I don't have a problem talking about it, but what we want to do is to provide solutions that are simple, so the average person in the household can at least have safe water to drink at an affordable cost.
Well, there we go. No.
We don't want them to take something that will give them any harm further.
Not only that, we're not saying this is the only suggestion or remedy that can... you see, he's just playing tennis back and forth.
I appreciate you calling, okay? And the information is well received.
You guys have a nice evening, eh?
You too, my brother.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye. I mean, the information is pertinent. It's good, but if you want to comment on something,
and then disregard one thing to
you
say
can't.
this is
it's not right. You take a last call. Good evening. Final call.
Hello?
Yes, final call. Be quick because we're out of time.
Dr. Yates.
Yes, my brother.
Since 1975, chlorine was banned in the States because of its cancer causing.
Right.
I hope the caller who just
He's
made
not
the
aware of
call
this and the call's
is
not aware
listening.
of
I
it.
don't know. You saying since 1975 it was banned,
Yes.
It's also banned in Germany. I know.
and
that.
I'm hearing from Doc it's also banned in Germany. So, you know, it's information that we need to look at and research and get the right, you know. Did you have that information? Is it
To do his research.
It's
documented?
online. It's online. It's online.
All right. So I hope he heard that. I appreciate the call. Okay.
Okay, Doctor.
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Well, in terms of, you saying use minerals.
Minerals, yes.
Yes.
Moss,
See, moss has a lot of minerals, indeed.
92%.
Right.
Yes.
Well said.
A lot of minerals, and it's a natural source.
Yes, it is.
The natural.
Yeah.
You also have added with bladder rock.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get 102 foot
You see,
minerals out of it.
you see,
Yep.
you were
Well said.
talking. You were talking a lot of sense.
Yeah. You're talking ancestral things. You're talking
Bladder rock,
traditional, right?
sea moss.
Yeah.
Well, they call it Irish moss too.
Yeah.
Yeah, loaded with minerals. Not only minerals, it has the amino acids that we need in our bodies. Sea moss. Believe it or not.
Absolutely.
Appreciate the call. Okay.
Okay, Doctor.
Thank you. We're not knocking anybody, you know, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. So, but you know, we want to simplify things, and we want to make things so that people can easily adopt it. They can research now. There's a lot of information out there. You know, just do your research and get the right data. And if you can employ it, go ahead. Final words.
693-3388. 693-3388. Folks, give me a call so I can share with you additional information we're having here this evening and how you can get the black salt, also you can get the Himalaya pink salt.
Okay.
This is important for our people because perhaps in another program, we'll talk about salt on the market that is very detrimental to our health, that is not really salt mixed with other things.
Chemical salts.
All right then, chemical
Okay.
salt.
All right. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful weekend. Dr. Haynes, say good night. God bless you. So long.